ibig sabihin, the 2 weeks before Huaning struck, they had relatively dry climate. And that is why yung ibang mga farmers nila, alam niyo naman ang ating mga farmers, they also do hedging and they anticipate na kung maganda ang klima sa kanilang sitwasyon, sa kanilang area, they invest on that. Unfortunately, yun nga, some of our corn crops were in the maturity stages.
Wala ho ba tayong mechanical harvester at hindi inabot na...
Ay, hindi pa pwede po eh. Kumbaga, they were in the third stage nung kanilang planting period, no? And it was too early to harvest it. So, but you know, we are ready now. Our regional field units are ready to distribute seeds for palay, for corn, and for vegetables once their fields are already ready. And ano po, nakasuporta po tayo dyan together with the local government units.
So, asa kung ang damage parang pangkapilang, ano?
Yun po ang aming dyan, medyo negligible.
So, ito ba'y normal na ganitong 1B ang damage sa agricultural commodities natin kapag may bagong dumataan?
Well, on the average, naglalaro po from half a billion to 1.5 billion ang damage na nararanasan natin. At I'm sure, nagtataka kayo, nag-iisip, ano ba ang rice supply natin? Ito pang importation, kailangan magdagdag because of this Huaning visit. Ang sagot po namin dyan, ito pong mga bagyong dumarating at darating pa, ifinactor na po namin yan doon sa importation requirement for our rice buffer stock of 860. Ang total imports for 2011, 860,000 metric tons. Ang buffer level po ng National Food Authority dyan ay 200,000 metric tons.
Apo. Asek, wala pa itong effect 2-3 months from now sa presyo ng karneng baboy? Kasi kung naapektuhan ng konti yung mais, ginagawang physical.
Okay. Ang reading po namin, it is not a reason for pork and chicken producers to use it as a justification because we also have corn production in the Visayas and Mindanao regions. And that will fill in the gap dito sa nangyaring konting pananalanta dito sa Region 2.
Kung tama pong pagkakatanda ko, 40 days ago, may ba tayong mga nagbebenta ng karneng manok? Tataasan nila ang presyo?
Yes. Nagkaroon po kami ng dialogo dyan because we felt na artificial yung pagtaas niya. Chicken prices hit 135 to 140 per kilo about 2 months ago. And immediately, Secretary Alcala called for a dialogue. And they cited, number one, the extreme heat during the summer periods affected the sizing of our broilers. And number two, yun pong, remember, there was a fish scare because of the fish kill. At ang consumers po ay nag-shift sa chicken consumption. So because of that, it was only within 2 weeks na correct po yan. At that is why the Department of Agriculture through Secretary Alcala and Secretary Domingo, we did not see a reason to implement a suggested reference price or suggested retail price for chicken. The other consumer groups were crying for an SRP of 125. But today, if we check the prevailing prices of chicken, it is now hovering at 120 to 125. So we let the market forces play, and we stuck to the promise of our producers that in 2 weeks' time, which happened, ladies and gentlemen, na babalik po sa normal levels yung presyo ng manok.
Apo, sabi ng mga namamalengke, pag daw inassemble yung manok sa palengke, hindi raw proportionate yung pitso sa paa, sa pakpak. Mas maraming pakpak at saka yung legs.
Baka sinasabi nyo yung mga imported na chicken parts. Well, we've talked to the Bureau of Customs on this. It is not only in chicken. We're hearing problems of smuggled sugar, smuggled rice, smuggled onions. Alam niyo po, it is a big challenge to the national government. And we are part of the task force on the anti-smuggling. Kasama po namin ang ating mga stakeholders po dyan. So talaga pong kailangan tutukan natin sa ating mga mamamayan. We have to be alert on all of this. Basta sa amin po, sa Department of Agriculture, tangkilikin po natin ang produktong Pilipino. Alam naman po natin yan eh. Makikita natin sa palengke, alam natin ang ginawa, inani, itinanim, ipinackage, at idiniliver ng mga magsasakang Pilipino. Yun po ang aming battle cry.
So, ang rule of the thumb sa chicken, pag may dibdib, galing sa Pilipinas.
Usually po naman, whole chicken ang preference ng ating consumers. Makikita po natin ang kaibahan niyan. Alam nyo, yung mga sinasabi ni Ariel na yung malalaking hita, alam natin, Caucasian yan. Medyo, alam natin, uy, galing sa ibang bansa ito. Halata naman kagad, Ariel, sa palengke, kitang-kita kagad ang diferensya.
Kita ang diferensya. Yun ang word for the day, kita ang diferensya. Of course, si Ginoong Eric Manala, narito rin si Archbishop Oscar Cruz. Sabi niya, malilig siya, pero muntik lang hindi mali. Magandang umaga po. Si Ginoong Eric Manala, ano inyong reaksyon dun sa mga exhibitionist diyan sa CCP?
Well, unang-una narito po ako upang i-represent po ang mga nagrereklamo sapagkat medyo na-late po si Attorney Joan Bong. I think she's still caught in the flood in España. But she has requested me to read our statement that she made on our behalf. So maybe umpisahan ko muna yung statement pinipare ko ni Attorney Joan Bong. And it is actually from the St. Thomas More Society in Manila, and this is dated August 2. There is now at the Cultural Center of the Philippines a group exhibit entitled Kulo, K-U-L-O. It is open to the public on free admission. It will run until August 21, 2011. One of the works in the exhibit is a one entitled Poleteismo by UST trained artist Mideo Cruz. A sign appears at the exhibit site saying that it is a gathering of artists of the University of Santo Tomas. Mideo Cruz's work visibly portrays the following. Number 1, a religious image of Jesus Christ. Attached to the religious image is a wooden replica of the male genital protruding directly over the face of Jesus Christ. The male genital replica is draped with a rosary hanging by the base and tip of the replica. To a crucifix is attached a red male organ. Number 2, a similar religious image of Jesus Christ, where the eyes of Jesus Christ are darkened by black ink, which appears to flow out from the eyes. Number 3, a crucifix and cross draped with a pink, stretched out condom. Number 4, various religious images and pictures of Jesus Christ, Mary the Mother of Christ, the Holy Family, the saints, and the Rosary, all closely surrounded and placed beside pictures of women who appear to be modeling for underwear or a skin product, scantily clad. Number 5, a picture of Christ's disciples surrounding a dark silhouette of Jesus Christ in the middle. Right above the facial portion of the dark silhouette of Jesus Christ is a drawing resembling the Mickey Mouse Disney icon. Number 6, a religious statue of Jesus Christ seated. Attached to the tip of the nose of Jesus Christ is a red ball. Above the head of Jesus Christ is an imposed pair of red ears, resembling the same Mickey Mouse Disney icon. CCP has a legal mandate. It was created by law and funded by our taxes for the purpose of awakening the consciousness of our people to our cultural heritage. That is quoted from them. As expressed in its mission statement, it aims to nurture, again in quotes, and promote artistic excellence, underscoring Filipino aesthetics and identity and positive cultural values towards a humanistic global society, and promote, in quotes, national identity. Is it our cultural heritage to mock and insult religious personages and icons? Is it aesthetic to vandalize a venerated representation objects of worship and reverence? Is vulgarity and blasphemy a Filipino value? What Filipino pride can emerge from such works? Is this our national identity? and CCP promotes it. Cruz's work, taken as a whole, mocks and makes travesty of religious sentiments of the Filipino people.